Alright, so for those on YouTube, just once again doing another live not recap, but just like an analysis. So hopefully we just get through it pretty quick. So I'll just start by checking out UJ. It's looking like it's kind of reversing back. We can see here that there was this extremely high like push up as it goes up there. We can see that it did actually end up breaking this extreme high here, kind of like for this little area here, or this strong point of resistance, and we did see that it actually ended up rejecting and continuing to push back up. So I can also see that there is another point of resistance here, so we're going to see how it reacts here. If it continues to break this, then that could be a sign to enter in back in towards the upside, possibly back towards up here, or even up to these levels here, or like around here, because this looks like a pretty decent level as well. So I'm going to mark that one up as well, because this could be a decent sign of take profit, or to really just enter in on a break and retest there. So that's really it for that pair. So taking a look here, I can see that if we were to use this high, like this high, I think, and like this low, then an re-entry to around here, in between the 0.5 to 0.6 on a key level. So if I mark up a key level right here, I can see on this low and this high. Boo, fight me. What's going on, bro? Oh, what's wrong with the is it the stream all good quality? I think it's good quality, hopefully. But have you seen my new video? It's like a vlog type. It's pretty sick. And I'm also doing like a my setup as well, so I'm recording for that as well, so that's pretty cool. Coming out soon. But I'm actually just gonna start doing like, so like during the week, if I enter another trade, I'll just whip out the camera, start recording what I'm thinking like on the spot. And so it's gonna be like a vlog type, like it's gonna be a vlog trading mix. So that should be pretty cool. On YouTube? Yeah, it's on YouTube. Well, like not my setup isn't up yet, but soon it'll be up. So that'll be like pretty cool. I sound Australian? Yeah, I am Australian. But like it's gonna be so good because I actually don't know anyone on YouTube that consistently makes like weekly videos of like what they do, like trading or just anything. Like even if there's a damn fight at the local pub or something like that, I'm gonna go and record it, you know what I'm saying? Because that's like a good thing to see. People would like that. But then also like they want to see trading at the end of the day. So it's basically just gonna be my whole life, but like trading and that sort of stuff. So pretty cool. I got this camera. I can start doing some more cooler videos instead of just like having just my screen and just my voice. At least now there'll be a bit more kind of interaction, I guess. Nice, I like Australia. Yeah, it's the best place to live, especially Melbourne, Australia. There's literally no better place. Anyway, heading back into this, I can just see that from this high area, we can see that an entry here would have been nice, but I didn't actually realize that there was this happening yet, because I wasn't really watching this pair in particular, so that's unfortunate. Also, what happened was I traded super aggressively on my FTMO account, and it actually just tanked. You guys can see what I did there on my most recent YouTube video, but we did end up getting kind of like that free redo of the challenge, because really I didn't actually trade like at all this week, or like during the whole festivities, so like Christmas, New Year's, and even a bit before that because I was getting ready for it. So I only really traded like 1.5 weeks, but we did get almost halfway there, so I think I can do it. But you know, now we can really just focus completely on trading, so that'll be pretty cool. So that's kind of a nice setup there, but you're just gonna have to wait. Here's kind of another trade here that I was looking to see a break and retest here. I did see that there was this entry point here, but the reason why I didn't actually enter in here is simply because there isn't a key level. So if I take a look at my notes here, one of them says here, trade plan more strictly, and if I take a look up here, I have a like my trading rules, and really, if it doesn't go completely towards my trading rules, I'm not going to trade it. So here, it didn't really have a key level for my re-entry, so I didn't enter in on it. And we can also see that this trade here isn't really looking too successful so far, and it actually does get stopped over here, so the trade really isn't that good. Alright, taking a look here, this one is looking pretty nice in my opinion. I can kind of see there's a key level. I'll move this extreme high up there. Also, I'll whip out my fib, so I'll delete this Fibonacci, then I'll just whip out this fib from this high down to this low. So we can see that the key level is kind of a bit below where we would like it, but that could just be a better entry. But once again, I would like my key level to be at around here, which I guess it could be, and just really to enter in on a trade. I do still like this, so I'm going to leave it there. And yeah, so this here is like just really another setup, so I'm going to look for another key level kind of. There's kind of one here. I can kind of see that it's a bit of resistance point here, bit of support, and then a bit of resistance there, and then over here obviously it's becoming a support once again. Then on this side here, I'll just mark up this area here. There we go. So those are my 3 levels here that I'm looking to like see action happening on New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Alright, so we'll just head on to UJ. So we can see that UJ was kind of like unable to make a high like past this point up here. So I'm going to move this up once again. Then I'm just going to mark up this level of support. In terms of another key level, there is kind of one here. It's looking like it is rejecting this area here as well though, so possibly it's losing that uptrend momentum, because you can see if we just zoom out that it's kind of been on this extreme upwards like push, I guess, and it's pretty crazy. Also, if you guys have seen, Tesla is just rising out of the roof, as well as like Bitcoin, and like for me it's so good because I just love what do I love again? Oh yeah, I just love like Tesla. It's just so good because I invest in it. Bit of water there. Alright, so oh, what the heck. Yeah, so just here I've got my levels marked out already now, but for me I'm gonna try and look to see if it can start reversing. So I'm gonna look for a break and retest of these lows down here, kind of just for it to go down here and come back up here and start rejecting and start heading back towards the downside there. That's what I'll be looking for on that pair. So taking a look here, now this trade was alright if I did enter in at around here. So we can just see this high to this low, then an entry in between the 0.5 to 0.6 with a stop loss set at 0.78. So here we can kind of just see that it's got about a 2 risk to reward ratio. So if I'm risking, let's just say 3%, then I enter in here, then this trade here would mean around 6.7k or something like that. But I can see that it did end up dropping quite a bit right after this entry point. So what that would mean is kind of just that once it drops like roughly to around here, I would have closed half the position and moved my stop loss back to break even, and then I would have left it, right? So then I would have probably only really closed around 1.5k, but maybe if we hit roughly like 4 to 5k, I would have ended up just closing it, because really that would just mean I just need one good trade to pass the challenge. But in turn, we can now see that it's kind of slightly ranging. It's really just ranging like since this point here. So these levels here are still going to remain relevant, and we're just going to have to see kind of how it reacts to these levels here. So get rid of that marker. gonna kind of keep an eye on this one. Hey, have you guys realized that there's no ads anymore? And like, look at this. Like, we can go to like 4 charts. Normally, I just use these ones here because it's much better to use, or in my opinion. But that's when I'm watching multiple pairs or whatever. But like when I'm just analyzing the charts, I kind of just keep it like this on the one, just so I have more screen space. Alright, hold on, I need to just do something to the camera. Whoops. Hold on. Oh my. There's so many settings on this new camera, right? That like, I'm trying to set it up right now. And I want it to go right to left. In 10 minutes again. Alright. Alright, so there we'll continue going now. So here I can see that it's kind of testing this major point of resistance, so I'm just going to head over to the 4-hour chart just so I can get a bit more of a view of what's going on. So I kind of was expecting it to break above, I was looking for it to break above here, retest, so I can target these highs up here. Right now it's kind of just looking like it's just like unable to break past it, but I am expecting it to end up breaking above and continuing to go high, and I can kind of see that there is this little uptrend developing here. So for me, I'm looking for a break and retest to continue taking it towards the upside. Hopefully we can end up taking this like towards that upside eventually, but we can also see on the OBV like this is extremely high compared to normal. But I do think that this is just going to go up. Like really, indicators, they're not the greatest. You just really want to trade price action. So if it breaks above, retest, then I can look to enter in. And like the levels there is still like the same. Well, this chart needs to be cleaned up. So what I'm going to do is delete that, remove the alert, and just fully clean up this chart. So, alright. So we're here on the 4-hour time frame. So we're just going to mark up areas of support, just like the basis areas. So there's support. In terms of extreme high, we're kind of just going to mark up this one, this area. Yep, I reckon that looks good. Then if I go and kind of look at the more recent key levels, I can see one right there. So here's a key level. Then if I look at kind of, there's obviously this area here, this double top form. So this double top came in. It's looking like it's testing it again. Let's just whip out fib, see what it's doing. So it didn't really, it rejected the 0.5 area, but it didn't continue going back down, and that's because we can see that it's in this uptrend here. So then in terms of other key levels, like smaller ones that we can look for a possible entry in on, you can see one right here. So that's a nice little key level I like. In terms of others, there's actually not really too many, except for really this one here. That's the only key level that I think really looks good. Now if we were to use fib from this low to this high. So this here looks pretty good in my opinion. I can see that it's overall in this uptrend here. But I can see that it did create a lower low. Like it couldn't create a higher high, and then it just came back and retested the same low. So this here could be a sign that it's losing its uptrend momentum. But I could really just enter in here, target there, and then just set my stop loss down here. And then if I get stopped out, I get stopped out. But yeah, if it wins, it's a good win. So I could risk only like 1% here and then still get 2.7k out of it. But if I lose, then I only lose 1k. Because like really, you just want to trade your trading plan just over and over and over again until like well, you just want to trade your trading plan over and over and over and over without getting your emotions involved, because then that way like you just trade better without your emotions, if that makes any sense. But we'll continue going on here. So here I can kind of see that it's just rejecting these levels. So you can see that really when I do these analysis, you can see that all I have to really do is just drag them across and just see how it's kind of reacting. But then I will eventually, like sometimes like here for example, I will have to end up marking up a new level. So like I can see there's one here. I can see that it's a bit of resistance point here, here. Then a bit of support level here with this candle and a bit of support here, even though it does end up dropping quite a bit below. So if I take a look here, then I can just see that it actually went above this extreme high. So I'm going to just move that up there. And now it's looking like it's coming back down towards the downside. So possibly this will just continue heading down, right? So if I were to use like this high up here, and it came down to around here, then it came back and retested this area, and it came back and retested this area here, that could be a sign for me to enter in and target these lows again. Or even if it just comes to around here, then comes back up, you can see there that I could enter in there on that 0.5 and continue taking it towards the downside. But once again, it is kind of in this long uptrend, so I kind of just have to wait and see how it develops. So taking a look here, I'm going to be looking mostly for a retest on mostly on this high. I mean on this like previous resistance level. I'm going to be looking for a retest here. There is kind of one here. Possibly this could be continuing to head up towards that upside there. But simply we're just going to have to wait and see. This pair has also, like we can see that it's creating these new highs. So even though it could be like the best setup, you still need to be a bit wary because you don't really know how high it's going to go and that sort of stuff. So you really want to trade strictly to your trading plan. So taking a look here at this pair, once again I can see that this point of resistance is still relevant. I can see this one here hasn't really been tested much, but it is kind of close to this one, so I'm just going to leave it there so I can see. And then I'm just going to drag this one here along because I can still see that it was an area of support over here. I can also see that like there's kind of this double top form here, so it ends up dropping. I can see that there's setting lower low, so I can see here lower like low, lower low, lower low. I can also see here that there's lower like high, lower high, and even lower high over here. So if it does end up breaking this and this, you could possibly be entering in to a sell opportunity. But if I take a look at this black line here, I can see that it's coming down to one of these extreme lows, well, post-COVID. So we can see post-COVID is coming down to this low here, where we have seen it kind of bounce back up. So possibly we could just be heading towards a reversal, or it could just simply be correcting all the way back down to kind of this area around here. So we're just going to have to wait and see how it reacts to these levels throughout the week. Now with the camera, I'll be able to really just show like how levels are reacting on the spot just by whipping out my camera and kind of just like talking about it while showing you guys. So that's pretty exciting. I can see this trade here wasn't really too bad. I can see that it was in this uptrend here, so an entry at around this point here I was looking at on UCAT. It did end up going like halfway up. So if we go move it, I'll take profit here. Oops. Hold on, let's just move this up a bit. We can see that it would have been about a 2% risk to reward ratio, so that would have been lovely. But we couldn't really get it to target these highs up here, which is unfortunate. So what I'm gonna do is just delete this stuff. So this here was really just like my aggressive trading that I was doing. That didn't really go too well. So now if I go over here and take a look at what's happening without, oh my, without all these like fibs and like long tools and short tools, I can just see that it's kind of entering the sell-off. So what I'm going to do is kind of just zoom out, look for some key levels where I could look for a possible entry point on a buy. There's this one here. It could possibly, I just think it's going to slash through and probably end up testing these ones here. So I want to leave these ones here, kind of just see how it ends up reacting to those levels. And also I'll be looking to see how it reacts to the RSI, seeing if it gets deeply into the oversold region. That could be a sign to just enter in on kind of a swing trade and really just target those highs. So here I can see once again, if you guys have been watching me, you know that I'm super surprised that AUD USD is continuing to go up, and it still is, and I am still just as surprised. But if I mark this up here, I can kind of see there's a key level there, and hopefully, personally, I'd like the Australian dollar to go back to like $1 per dollar with the US dollar, but then once again we won't really know. Maybe the US dollar will open up on a gap, just simply because of what happened over the weekend, with all this like Donald Trump sort of stuff, kind of crazy. Here we'll just take a look at how these stocks are doing. So Microsoft's looking like it's going back up, which is nice. AMD's kind of ranging. Hopefully it tanks and then I can buy in. But goddamn, look at this beauty. You love to see it. You love it. You love it. You love it. It's looking like there's a bit of resistance up here actually. So possibly a quick little sell and then a re-entry in and up on here. But we can see that it actually opened up on a gap there. So there is still that strong uptrend momentum. Anyway, that's really it. It was kind of a quick stream. If you guys have any questions on if you're watching live, just let me know. And then yeah, for those on YouTube, that's gonna be it. But with that said, guys, yeah, I'll see you next week.